Take it away.
Hello everyone, I'm Nadia, first time here, I'm very honored. Today we'll be running through Shadow Generations Any Percent. I'm on my couch, I have Shovel Claws alongside PT, and we also have Thor as our lovely host.
Yeah, hi, I'm Shovel Claws. I've run this game in the past. I'm not so good at it anymore. Nadia has definitely carried on the torch, but Nadia is absolutely going to crush this run. And this game is a fantastic speed game, kind of expected from the Sonic series, really. And of course, we have much more Sonic down the line if we can get to 40k. So I'm excited, but Nadia is going to absolutely crush it. And I'm not here alone, thankfully.
Yes, I am here too. Hi, if you thought you were done with me, incorrect. Wrong. You are still dealing with me probably until almost the end of this event. Hi, it's PT, back on Sonic stuff, which is the thing that I love the most, more than the Soulsborne stuff and more than the other genres like Metroidvanias. It's the Sonic stuff that I'm here for. And yes, we are here to go heckin' dang fast. I am looking forward to this run because I've been watching Nadia practice it and lab it out, and it's been a great time, but I'm also really excited about those DLC levels, I'm just saying.
Those DLC levels are going to be great.
Yes.
Super excited.
I do have a very quick question before we get started. What was the result of the bid war?
Let's see. The bid war, as far as I can see, let me just make sure I get this correct, get my peepers ready. And the bid war seems to be Terios on top at 161 with Classic at 141. So it looks like Terios is on top.
Okay,
So I was in chat like, Terios can't win this, and then someone proved me wrong. You know what? I respect it.
All right. Well,
And also, may I make a quick announcement just before we go right on in?
yes.
Go for it.
We are $106 away from $38,000. So make sure you get those donos in. We want to see some extra fantastic bonus runs tonight, and we are so close. Thank you so much, and feel free to get started whenever you are ready.
All right, perfect.
Let's get it.
Well, I got it set to Terios, and time start in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So we're going to start out in the Space Colony arc here. Shadow is on a mission to find his past as he goes through Sonic Generations. So we can't talk much about the base movement right now because this first level is a lot. You're going to see a lot of movement here. It's a boost game, so of course you have your boost, your air dash, you have a double jump, all sorts of stuff. You're also going to see Nadia use this little extra spicy move here called a Chaos Spear. We'll talk about why this is a little bit later down the line because there's a glitch we gotta explain coming up here. This first stage is extremely difficult, and that is largely because of Tube Glitch. We'll see if Nadia can get it here, but she's going to... nearly flying off the stage, but saving it. Very nice. Going to try to clip into this tube. This tube has an automated forward running section where they're going to try to hit that trigger while staying on the outside. Got the trigger, and then this changes our gravity and our running speed to where you're gonna see Shadow can absolutely, or I guess Terios now, damn it, chat, is going to absolutely fly through the air here. And the problem with this is that Nadia can't move left or right. So they're going to have to, for example, hit a homing attack onto that Chaos Control Capsule in order to actually move. And then this all is to allow us to set up for this huge jump here, going to hit the side of this huge cannon that shoots this rocket at us and go flying out of bounds into the next section of the stage. This skips like 30 seconds of cutscenes and gameplay, but this changes our physics. So what we're going to do is take a quick pitfall into the next section, and that resets our physics back to normal, and Nadia is going to fly through the rest of this stage. That is Tube Glitch that in Arc 1 absolutely killer skips in the first stage of the game. That's a little taste of what you're going to get throughout this run.
And speaking of little tastes of what you're going to get, we got some more Shadow in store for you. If we can reach that bonus, that Sonic Adventure 2 battle is going to be the Dark Run. So make sure you get your donos in. And also the bid war for the language choice and Octopath Traveler between English and Japanese is just open. So make sure that you donate towards that. And when you're selecting, keep in mind that all your donos still go towards that bonus game run.
Yes, absolutely. We want to see more Shadow, of course, and Eggman and Rouge too, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Whoa, whoa,
guess.
we made no Rouge. What Rouge do?
yeah, we want to see more Rouge. I don't know about Eggman.
No, I'm not. No one's respecting Eggman in any way, shape, or form. That's not no.
Oh, well,
He's
you know what?
aight.
Since we got so many haters in chat with the Eggman, I'll tell you what, why don't you tell me what your favorite Sonic characters are? I hope to see some Eggmans on that list. We can get some $10 donos in. Let's see a dono train with your favorite Sonic characters. Tell us in the dono section. We'll be waiting for you.
All right.
Classic.
So very quick, I'm going to be going. It is a very small window, and if I can get it.
Yeah, this is pretty tricky. Naughty here is
Okay.
going to try to time a jump.
Okay, that's
Nice.
fine. We got one. That's
Getting,
fine.
getting one is more than fine. This slide, of course, you can see now, has this very long kind of automated-ish sliding section down this building, but if you time a jump correctly, you can actually skip that jump in order to fly down the rest of the slide. It's a very tight window. You only have about 2 or 3 frames whenever you hit the ground in order to time that jump again. And so, very precise, but 1 is all you need sometimes. You get the gist, and then we're going to wrap up this first stage here. That was all the first stage, by the way.
Yup.
I think one of my favorite things about this entire run and even this entire game is how, because it's taken on the perspective of Shadow as it pertains to Sonic Adventure 2 items, which we should definitely see later, and then movie items and whatnot, is that there's also just all this type of timey-wimey nonsense that's happening. Because Shadow, once again, is just trying to find, where is Maria? Is she around? And now you have all types of chaos nonsense that's like changing your levels up, switching them over. But it does give you some cool throwbacks. But I'm gonna let Shovel take it again for some more tech talk.
Yeah, so now that we're out of the first level where we had a bunch of glitchy nonsense, you know, speedrunning is cheating or whatnot, we actually can talk some about the base movement kit that we have. So Shadow here is going to have a very special item here, the Chaos Spear. And what you're going to see Nadia do is throw these Chaos Spears out like they're candy, and that's actually going to allow us to keep our acceleration rate the same through mid-air. It basically stops us from slowing down because that Chaos Spear animation is playing. And then additionally, Shadow, of course, has the power of Chaos Control. We can't have Shadow without it. And that's actually a major mechanic in this game where Chaos Control allows us to slow down time, and this opens up alternative routes. You saw Nadia, for example, take that Chaos Control rail, that green little thing throughout the big stage here, and that allows us to soar through the rest of the stage. But I think the only other thing is that 2D movement is actually really complicated in this game. Act 1s are always 3D, and Act 2s are almost always 2D. And because of that, the differences in movement are actually very stark throughout the run, you can see. So Nadia is going to use a lot of small tech that we can probably talk on later in 2D in order to keep their speed up. But my metamorphosis begins, I suppose.
Yes, right now. Right now we are getting a first look at Shadow. I think it's pretty straightforward on what it does. It lets Shadow fly.
You're telling me the wings let him fly?
I know,
Whoa,
right? Crazy.
mind-breaking.
That's wild.
Now, another neat thing about it is the second you land on the ground. Oh, first you have to do this.
Lining up for a quick strat with that gravity coil there. Very cool.
And speaking of flying, by the way, we just passed $38,000. Congratulations, chat. You're killing it. We are 2K away from some absolutely amazing gameplay. And on top of that, our bid war, the English is out to an early lead for the Octopath Traveler against the Japanese with 85-32. So make sure you get those. Make sure you put in your donation towards that bid war. It'll count towards both the Sonic game and the Octopath Traveler if you do. And on top of that, can I ask you all a quick question?
Yes.
Oh god, I'm scared.
What should Sonic use to knock on a door?
Oh no. I'm stumped.
Knuckles. Thank you for the $15 donation and joke from Squishy and Meerkat. We appreciate you.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Right.
I
That's
appreciate
foul.
the money. I don't like the pun.
Oh, we have another pun hater.
Oh yeah, hate him. All right. So Nadia's going to lock in for this stage because this is one of the hardest stages in the entire run. This is Rail Canyon. And Nadia's going to absolutely soar throughout this stage. These rails, of course, are going to wind, twist, and turn. We're going to cut out as much distance as possible. A quick little jump to the side there. The Chaos Control actually comes in handy a lot in this stage because Chaos Control actually refills your boost gauge. Boost management is very difficult in this run. The only way you get them back is through rings and through Chaos Control. Thankfully, Chaos Control has a cute little glitch that we can do called Chaos Control Glitch, where if you hit one of these Chaos Control capsules, it actually lets you get Chaos Control twice. And so you'll see Nadia very strategically time the Chaos Control in order to get both Chaos Controls out of one capsule. It's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Just like you can get a 2-for-1 deal with your donations if you put it to that bid war, am I right? Up top.
Yup.
And speaking of bid wars, by the way, we have donations just pouring in here. We've got $5 from Richard saying, "Big the cat." Let's get to that super.
Big the cat.
Let's
I
get
like
a Sonic
that guy.
Adventure 2
I
battle
like
bonus
Big
run.
I'll say Big the Cat mentioned.
Yes.
Big the cat for the win.
While we're mentioning stuff, Radical Highway mentioned, in this game,
Yes.
it does take place during Sonic's campaign of Sonic Generations. So Shadow's kind of going through the same thing where he's traveling through the past. And, of course, can't have Shadow the Hedgehog without Radical Highway. Duh. So we're going to get transported over and over again to Radical Highway with Black Doom chasing us around. Unfortunately, we can't skip these sections because in a lot of them, very nice, getting this skydive skip here, having a jump stored at the top, which allows us to then go through this section without having a very slow skydive animation. Very clean. But Black Doom can't be skipped because he gives us these collectibles that we need to unlock the next stage. Unfortunate, but there are things that, of course, we can make these sections much faster. You saw them some in Arc Act 1, and now you're going to see them here as well as we do this next skip. We're going to homing attack Doom, and then stomp on down, and then hit this automated section. You usually can't stomp, but you have to time a jump after you homing attack Black Doom in order to be able to. So very small optimization, but very important. Sonic games, all about the small stuff, right? So.
And speaking of the small stuff, there is no small donation. All donations count, and every dollar helps. So make sure that you help put towards Race Forward for this amazing Back to Black event. And also a special thank you to the $25 donation from Evan. In the famous words of Shadow, "I'm at Aldi's." Well, thank you very much, Evan. And thank you for letting us know your itinerary.
I like how also you're supposed to be locked in. I just see this shadow that's just there brooding
I
as
have
your
to lock
focus.
in. I have to lock in.
Focus.
Also,
we're
don't.
gonna
Oh, God.
We're gonna do one more skip here. Big rail switch here. Oh, just barely late on the rail switch. That's so unlucky.
I lost. Right.
Yeah, I saw that.
That can happen.
That's unfortunate, but it kind of goes to show that this game is pretty punishing. This game is very difficult. It has a lot of really heavy tech movement. I see Nadia's logged out now.
No, I just remembered Act 2. I have to
we're
log back in.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
no,
we're
it's
back.
Shadow. Sorry, that's Shadow. My bad.
I have to log back in. Act 2.
Act 2 is just as hard. But Shadow Generations is a damn hard speed game, y'all, and Nadia's doing a great job so far. I want to see some hype in the chat and the donos for it because it is hard to overstate how hard this game is.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a bunch more Shadow donations coming on in, so let me take a few here. We got $10 from Satan herself. "My favorite Sonic character is Shadow, but honestly, every character in the Sonic universe deserves a ton of love, and that's what the Adventure series is all about. Let's see more Shadow and more Sonic with the Sonic Adventure 2 bonus game. And you know what? We are so close. We are just under $1,900. We are so close to this. And also make sure that you put in towards that bid war. If you want, you can go to !donate, and also make sure you put towards that bid war incentive because you'll unlock both as we get closer to 40K.
Yes. Absolutely. Nadia's coming up here on a very difficult skip. We'll let this one speak for itself and talk about it after.
That's fine. Happened.
Unlucky. This this skip is extremely hard. So to kind of explain what's actually going on here, because it's a little bit of messy nonsense, as you have in Sonic games, what Nadia's going to do is slide off of this platform that's right before an automated section. And that puts us above that automated section, and that allows us to kind of break it. So sliding off of that platform allows us to then use another double jump with that the game doesn't kind of intend us to have. Unfortunate. Then we can kind of jump out of the automation, but the automation still applies a force to us, which hopefully you'll see will send us absolutely flying.
Oh, yeah.
Is that too far?
That's too hard.
No.
Yeah, happens.
That's so unfortunate. You can see Shadow can get too much speed and go flying over the goal ring.
Yeah,
And
Rail King there's a lot of different that, and sometimes you have to go down, other times you have to actually keep going, otherwise you might get squished.
Yeah, you have to react to what type of
that's
speed you
funny.
actually get, because of course Chaos Spirit Gliding is going to let you keep a very high amount of speed, but if you do it too much, then you actually fly past the level and you can actually just void out because you go so fast. So it's a really tricky balance where you have to both do this really difficult setup that's super precise, but then also Chaos Spirit Glide just the right amount until you get to the end. And very nice, Nadia. You know what? Hitting the actual physics launch 3 times, I gotta say,
I know,
impressive on its own, even if you
I was
went too fast.
That's usually the hard part about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was sitting there watching you practice it like up until the event, and just getting that locked in and understanding where the gravity kind of pulls and pushes, and then how you have like little to no control over speed that you now have to control. It's a super hard trick, chat. Like,
Very
it
difficult.
looks nice and buttery when you execute it, but no, there's big brain energy being put into that.
100%. And it just goes to show, like, this game, kind of awesome. Like, this game is a fantastic run, and I can't speak enough to its credit.
Well, if you can't speak enough, I'll speak for both of us real quick with another $50 donation from Barbecue Leona saying, Nadia, you're much more than a sycophant. You're a sicko friend. Good luck on the run. I know how hard you've been grinding at this game, and you deserve the spotlight tonight. 100%. And also a $5 donation from Top Secret Fox saying, hey, welcome to GDQ, Nadia. What an amazing event to debut with. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the future. And I think we all agree with that statement. I'm looking forward to seeing many more appearances from Nadia at this event.
I am very flattered to hear that. Thank you.
And also, we are moving on our way with all those lovely donations, getting us closer and closer to 40K. We are so close to the bonus game for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So make sure that you put those donations in. And this way we can have more Sonic speedruns after this, because I don't know about you. I can't do it just one Sonic game.
I totally agree.
So I was gonna go ahead and butt in for a second and read a message from chat that says, "What is this Mirror's Edge hub world?" And so that's actually another thing that we wanted to talk about a little bit, is the fact that another thing that makes the speed run particularly challenging is that it's not like other Sonic games that you've seen in marathons where you just have back to back to back levels and maybe you have to travel on a map just a touch and it's on that automatic pathing. No, this is an actual hub world that you have to travel around and go to your levels to get your 2 acts. And right now what Nadia is doing some side worlds in order to get keys to unlock the boss of this particular area. So it's kind of Mirror's Edgy, but not quite. I think we're cooler than Mirror's Edge, but that could be biased. Mirror's Edge what?
Mirror's Hedgehog.
Yes.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's foul. That's gross.
Just want to mention really quick. So that little jump I did at the start to get on top of the ceiling, that skipped through most of the challenge, and that was actually found by yours truly, Shovel Claws.
Yours truly,
you.
me? Question mark?
Yes, yes, yeah. Whatever.
My one contribution, huge. This
It is
next
huge.
challenge, so as PT mentioned, we're doing all these challenges to get keys. So we can't actually skip these in any way. We do need them to win. So we gotta optimize them as best we can. Gonna fly across this opening here to defeat all of these little chaos guys. They're probably called chaos something. In order to actually beat the challenge, we need a certain amount, but that big jump skips quite a lot of them. So this only gives us a leeway of, as you can see, we have one extra than we need to actually beat the challenge. So it's a very difficult route, and if you miss one by accident, it is a little bit difficult. Thankfully, this next challenge a little bit easier, as long as you know the ring route. So Thor, I think, does anyone have any favorite Sonic characters? I want to hear some.
Ooh, Shadow the Hedgehog, no contest.
Of course.
Absolutely amazing. Consider me cliche, but you know what? Best style, without a doubt, besides Blaze the Cat.
I was just about to say, I feel like Blaze gets slept on, even though I've never actually played a single game that has Blaze in there. The Blaze Nation has caught me by storm because it's really the design aesthetic for me. It's the design aesthetic.
I rock with Blaze the Cat as an answer.
And speaking of which, it seems like a lot of people agree with you, including this $10 donation from Laurie D. Bunnykins, saying, my favorite Sonic character is Blaze the Cat. I've been meaning to donate all week because this event has been incredible. Glad to do so before the end, and best of luck to the Sonic runners. Thank you so much, Laurie D. Bunnykins. And you know what? Blaze is a pretty fire character. See what I did there? Fire. And also, we also have from Uludark, a $5 donation saying, please tell Nadia, Tails is the best Sonic character of all time. You know what? Tails is pretty dope. Tails is pretty dope. And speaking of which, if you want to tell us your favorite Sonic characters, you should pop by gdq.gg/donate and tell us in a dono so we can take a look and read some of these fantastic character favorites out. We'd love to see what your choices are. And I know we had a $10 dono train going earlier, so let's continue with that fun. And we're getting closer as well with just under $1,800 to our bonus game. We'd love to see it happen and get some more Shadow time. I'm not biased or anything. Nope, not me.
I mean, more Shadow time is just a good time because Shadow is baby girl. Let's be honest.
This is true.
Be very honest. Shadow is baby girl.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
He's a little
I definitely agree.
Do we have some time for some more donations?
I think so. This next challenge I don't think is anything too special. It has some really cool movements, so of course, watch the gameplay. It's gonna be sick.
And bringing us just a step closer, this $50 donation is bringing us on the path towards 39,000. We've got $50 from Sunny Bun. My favorite Sonic character is tougher than the rest of them, the best of them. You can call him Knuckles. Unlike Sonic,
Damn
he
right.
he don't chuckle. He'd rather flex his muscles. Well,
Damn right.
you know
As
what?
hard as nails, it ain't hard to tell. He'd break it down whether they're solid or frail.
Right, I'm saying.
And lastly, we got a $15 dono from Momoka Pool. Popped in from a raid and wanted to pass on some of my own good fortune. Good luck hitting your goal. And we are getting there, Momo. We are on that road to 39,000. We appreciate all the donos. And lastly, a $50 donation from Anonymous with no comment. But that doesn't matter. We appreciate all donos, whether you leave a comment or not. Thank you so much for participating and having fun with this amazing event.
Of course. Thank you all so much. I want to see that SA2 bonus game, so keep donating, keep them coming. But we're going to load into our first boss. You know what? Maybe a treat to incentivize you a little bit to get that SA2 run. Biolizard. Of course, we have past zones. We also have past bosses. So going to start out with a pretty similar fight, but going to very quickly evolve.
And speaking of a very important dono, we just got $50 from Nadia's mama, Miss Pardon. Keep it going, love you, Nadia's mama.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mom.
We love the family donos in here.
my
It's so
gosh.
sweet. Thank you, Nadia's mom, and thank you for supporting this amazing event.
I appreciate it. That's awesome.
That is so cute.
Yes, hello.
Alright. Going into the next phase of Biolizard, we're going to see him whip out the bubble patrol, I guess.
The Orbeez.
Right, the orb piece. I
mean,
he's
it
just
does.
becoming his new weak points.
Yeah.
What does it look like, Thor? I want to know.
It looks like Orbeez. I'm sorry. It really does.
Just forbidden bubbles.
Yummers.
Forbidden Nerds rope.
What do you think this tastes
I
like?
can't.
I didn't expect the yummers to come out so early.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that looks edible in this game. I'm not gonna lie. Like those Chaos Spirit need to get turned into some form of hard candy because, like,
Oh yeah.
look at them.
Or no, it could
They're,
be
like,
popping
bright.
candy. That would be even better.
That'd
We could
be
bring back.
genius.
It could be Pop Rocks, but it's in the spheres. Done.
Sega.
Handled. Sega, hire me.
Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. That's just Nerds rope with extra steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you mention it, the arms do just kind of look like Nerds ropes, except it's like wiring instead. Like, I see the vision.
So I wanted to point this out for a little bit too. For those of you who have gone through many, many waves of Sonic Adventure 2, you might recognize this boss as the one at the end of the final story. I think one of my favorite things about this making the comeback, and there's a lot of throwbacks in this game, so if you're a Sonic Adventure 2 enjoyer, A, continue to donate because we need to see Sonic Adventure 2 Dark Story, but then B, you should recognize a lot of the things that are coming through here, like Radical Highway and our friend the Bio Lizard. But what I think is the most interesting about this is that they took the iconic Bio Lizard fight. The first phase of the fight is almost one-to-one with what you would have in Sonic Adventure 2. And then from that point forward, Sega said, but what if we hit you with some of that 2020 freshness? And they gave you a bunch of new ways to fight him, which is why we have the bubble arms, we have this spear that we have him sucking through.
Yup.
Oh my god. It's just
so funny.
when I first saw this fight, it just was so cool to me. But go ahead, Thor. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, listen, I agree with you. And I was just saying, speaking of awesome things as well, are you putting any donos in for that Shadow Chow? Shadow
Oh
Chow
my God,
Ami
I
or
already did. It's so cute.
Gurumi?
Yes.
I already
It
did.
looks
Yes.
amazing.
It's so
Yes.
cute.
It's so adorable. And I don't know if people saw it too. It's the size of roughly like my torso. Like, it is a small, huggable friend that
I
you
didn't
can
know that
put
when I
on your
donated.
couch and stuff.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God.
I want it.
It is like perfect hug size. 10 out of 10 would Amagurumi again.
Oh my God. I see what you did there.
So,
I was gonna ignore it because I'm a fun hater, but you know what? It's okay.
so real
We're gonna
quick,
go in-
may I?
I was gonna talk about our next power up here. We already got another power up called the Doom Blast that, frankly, it gets used occasionally. We just use it to hit enemies up and take new paths. But we get the Doom Surf here, and that allows us to sail across water, boost across it to speed on through stages. And this next stage is Kingdom Valley, probably the best stage in the entire game. I know, I'm not alone in that. But this stage is gonna be one of the coolest in the entire run. So we're gonna start out with a big jump across that gap to start out. Chaos Spear Glide to the top path here, because of course, top path always fastest, right? And then Nadia is going to try, getting flung on down by the game because bored, I guess. Going to have to adapt a little bit.
That was a beautiful recover though. Like,
Yeah, no, that save was good. Knowing your backup's super important in this game.
Man, that made me nervous.
Going into this next section where Nadia is going to jump off that rail early just to save maybe a second for the fans, and then going into this Doom Surf section. So Doom Surf is very simple. Whenever you hit the water, you can do a boost, but then you quickly lose all your speed unless you do what Nadia is going to do here is jump and do these kind of air hovers and shimmy across the water with a quick step in order to keep your speed going. You can see that boost speed is going to be kept the entire way through, kind of similar to Chaos Spear gliding, except on the water. And then flung out into the next section, this big castle where Nadia is going to go for a pretty difficult jump off of this little pillar. We'll see.
Okay.
Gravity.
And speaking of big jumps, by the way, we just had a huge $500 donation come in from 8 Friend. It was fun playing besides you this weekend, as always. Thank you so much for the $500 donation,
That is so
bringing
sick.
us closer to that Sonic. 2 adventure battle incentive, and not only that, that has to be met by the very next run. So everybody, if you want to see that Sonic Adventure 2 battle with Shadow the Hedgehog, Rouge the Bat, and Eggman, our favorite Egghead, make sure you get those donations in. And also remember, we got a bid war going on for Honey and also the English versus Japanese language packs. But we are so close, chat. We're just under 39,000. We are $219 away. So come on, let's make this happen. Let's see that boost.
You know, I feel like after watching Kingdom Valley and Nadia just tearing the stage up, doing these huge jumps with these Chaos Spirit Glides, going to line up for Castle Skip here, a kind of blind jump where you're going to hold a specific angle on your stick and then going to bail out of it mid-attempt because the angle was very slightly to the left. Very good awareness on Nadia's part. I feel like, you know what, this stage kind of deserves a donation. So if you're feeling generous, which after this you should be, definitely do it. This stage, I feel like I could watch this stage for the rest of my life and not get tired of it, because oh my god, this movement is so clean. The final section here into the waterfall section of Sonic 06 going to carry us through the end, but there's so many small details in what Nadia's doing here, changing up the duration of your Chaos Spear when you actually do your first Chaos Spear to initiate a glide. Additionally, we haven't mentioned Chaos Spear gliding is super committal, so you can't change your direction mid-air when you start doing Chaos Spear glide. So you have to make sure you're on top of where you're actually going before you do. It's super difficult, and Nadia just tore that stage up clean.
And speaking of things that we are tearing up, chat, we are so close to 39,000. I'll tell you what, because I know you can do it. How about we see if we can get to $39,000 by the time that hits 39 minutes on the run timer? I believe in you, chat. I know you can do it. And I know everyone here wants to see some Sonic Adventure 2 battle as well as myself. So make sure you get those donos in at gdq.gg/donate if you have not already, and make sure to put towards that bid war. But also, we have $20 from Bobo's Cafe. Tell Nadia that the Bobo crew is watching. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Bobo. If y'all don't know, Bobo is actually the artist behind my current PNG tuber. We got it arranged for the event. I'm very happy with it. It's fantastic. So thank you, Bobo.
And
yeah.
Also, just one more donation. We have a $100 donation from Silence with the less than 3. Thank you so much for the $100 donation and getting us very, very close.
You know, it's very useful that Thor, we have so much love coming in, because I feel like I don't really need to explain how good this game is when Nadia just like very casually blows through a minute of this stage, which probably took me like 3 my casual playthrough. Like, oh lord, there is a lot to talk about with this game, don't get me wrong, but there's a sort of like grace and elegance to it that's really impressive to just watch.
I think it also helps that the way that the levels in general are just designed. Yeah. I don't know if this was intentional, but it feels a lot like this has a lot of appeal for both a casual player and a high-level player, because you get to watch people like Nadia and maybe on occasion Shovel Claws tear through these levels, and it's an elegance, it's a grace. But I think even from a casual level, just watching the ways that it caters to you to still have that really nice, crisp, zippy movement is a sight to behold. There's a couple of like loop-de-loops and stuff. They're not actual loop-de-loops because they're not connected, but there's a couple of them that Nadia's done where you can see that it does reversals on a level, flips you around the level, and it really just caters to an idea of always just being like, yes, more speed is needed. It's just, if you haven't played Shadow Generations, do yourself a solid, especially if you're a Sonic fan. Go ahead and grab it, because it just is a great time all around.
You also get Sonic Generations just for free, so like, you know, I paid $50 for Shadow Gens alone, and I felt like I got my money's worth. So, I also think on that note, it's really telling that this game is such a popular speed game. Go to speedrun.com right now and look at the top active games. You'll see Shadow Generations just hanging out right there. Like, this game is super accessible, super easy to pick up and just put down a time. It also has in-game leaderboards, so it's like kind of nasty. Like,
Ooh,
And
oh my god, Big the Cat mentioned?
big.
oh my god, Big the Cat.
Big. And speaking of big, we are just $94 away from $39,000. Let's make it happen, chat. And also a $10 donation from Oyster saying, "Where's the Vector love? A gator with a jukebox always wins by heart."
You're right.
Vector
That's-
mentioned
I was thinking about
win.
it. I was thinking about it, how no
I
one
love
ever
Vector.
mentions Vector. You don't know who else people don't mention? Espio the Chameleon.
Yo, Espio's my boy.
that guy.
Chaotix don't get love.
Yeah, the
Doesn't get-
Chaotix don't get a lot of love. Yeah, Espio's a real cool cat. But Charmy B is probably the only one I would say doesn't deserve love, but that's because
Okay,
I personally
be
think
nice.
Charmy B
Whoa,
is...
no.
I am being nice.
No.
I'm being nice by not saying what's on my spirit.
Okay, but Charmy B though, like real talk, is actually one of my favorites besides Shadow because they were me as a kid, small, annoying,
Oh.
everywhere, and bouncing around. And
No, I get that.
and speaking of which, I have a very fun question for all of you,
Okay.
for the couch and also for Nadia. And for chat, if you want to get involved, you know, we could throw a $5 dono train in. But what is your best Sonic song? And that is a $5 dono question from Barbecue Leona. I'd love to know your thoughts.
That is
hard.
that is very hard.
I mean, you could pick any song from this game and it'd be a really good answer, frankly.
Yeah.
I gotta stick to my roots, and I also gotta honor my roots on a deeper level because it's gonna be most of the Knuckles OST from Sonic Adventure 2. I'm not gonna
Of course.
front. Like Kick the Rock actually is banger central. I know a lot of people love the Pumpkin Hill music, but I am a Kick the Rock advocate. Kick the Rock
played-
is the one.
If you played Frontiers, the last boss, the one that's like a shmup, has probably one of the like weirdest songs of the series, but it's my favorite.
So,
I know that's
yeah?
a deep cut.
okay, so controversial opinion. One of my favorite games is Sonic Advance 3, and it is the final arc level in that game. I love how hard that music goes. And speaking of things that are going so hard right now, we are just $34 away from $39,000. We are so
Jeez.
close.
We have about 45 minutes if you want to see SA2 before this run ends, plus the Tokyo DLC, which you also generously already hit. Kinda
Let's
wild.
go.
So definitely get your donations in now. We're gonna go into Haruka Highway. Thankfully, you know what? It's a really good time for that you asked all those questions because Sunset Heights is probably the least interesting level in the entire game. You either know your stuff or lucked out, which frankly, I think you know your stuff. I've talked to you a bit.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, this entire stage is pretty simple. It has a lot of great movement because this game is just I'm so hyped. But it is not very trick heavy. It's mostly 3D movement, and of course you have a few of these two areas that we saw in the first stage that we can't unfortunately glitch out of. But that's okay. So I think, you know, Thor, if you have any more love,
I
any more
do.
Yes.
I do actually. In fact, I think P2 will be happy about this. Limey Speedrun just put in $5 donations at Espio. Huh? Yeah, Espio. And you know what? I get you on that one. Espio is dope. Plus that purple. I mean, only so many characters can pull that off. And then we have a $25 dono from None to One. Is that the Nadia? No freaking way. Good luck. Have fun. Yo. Smash Run back when. By the way, hi Shovel Claws and PT from None to One. Thank you so much for the $25 dono. And also, lastly, we've got one from Race Aroni with the $10 dono saying, I gotta go with Big the Cat as my favorite Sonic character. We have so much in common. Mustache, body shape, size, love of pets, desire to relax and focus on hobbies. You know what? I'm right there with you. And plus, you can't go wrong with everybody's favorite pet friend, Froggy.
Yes.
Shout outs to Froggy, who was just minding his business and living his best life.
He embodies a spirit that's in all of us. Going through to Act 2, Nadia will have a lot of, you can see in the background these huge Death Egg robots that we'll have to contend with. They will destroy certain parts of the stage in order to progress. And then additionally, this is where we actually see Doomsurf in 2D with all of its, features intact. we can hit some really big boosts if we can hit the angle right, get a good amount of speed into them.
And speaking of hitting really big things, we just reached $39,000 with the help of a $34 donation from Bobo's Cafe, spreading more Nadia love and nudging us to 39K. You didn't just nudge us there; you pushed us off the cliff, and we rose up. Let's go!
Thank you all.
Thank y'all.
Let's go. Yeah. Thank you all so much for contributing to the first Black charity event here at GDQ. I want to emphasize that a lot, because you're getting a lot of really cool content that we otherwise only used to do as a hotfix special, and we're getting a lot of people getting their first time ever to run in a charity marathon for Games Done Quick. So y'all are making this happen. Y'all said it, and we listened. You said you wanted charity. We came in with charity, and you're pulling up, and we appreciate you all immensely for the love and support. I cannot wait to celebrate at 40K. Let's go, everybody.
Speaking of 40K, we are just $950 away. Make sure you get that in before the end of the run, which we still got a little bit of time, but not much. So if you want to see some more Sonic, make sure that you put in those donations. Tell us what your favorite Sonic music is. Tell us who your favorite characters are. And also, more importantly, make sure that you enjoy yourselves. And lastly, to close that off, $25 from Nox. Favorite Sonic song. The series has so many bangers, but I feel like All of Me wins for me. Good choice.
That is a
very good choice. We'll see at the end here. Nadia absolutely crushing that middle section. I do gotta say that one is particularly tough. There's a foreground and a background, and Nadia has to kind of weave their way through the background while avoiding getting pushed into the foreground. It is a super difficult section if you're off cycle, which is very easy to do because one mistake puts you there. And then into our challenges for Sunset Heights and Kingdom Valley. But first we gotta unlock them, and Nadia's gonna go for something a little bit special here. Let's see if we can get it.
That's fine.
Pulling out the side like that is...
I do regret to inform everybody that despite the fact we've made huge strides in technology, Sonic gravity is in fact still ghetto.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got
it. It is in fact still. Oh, there we go.
Let's go.
Man.
Oh, so we flung the wrong direction, is what I'm gathering there. Now we flung the correct direction.
Yes. This is the way we wanted to go. This is the Metal Overlord boss gate, and that is going to fling us up into it. Otherwise, we'd have to do a pretty long string of movement to get through that big castle that we kind of just broke into from the roof. And then that unlocks the challenges for this next area. So very, very nice work, Nadia. Very good.
Thank you.
I'm super excited that actually got
I know
because that's hard.
Yes, that little
Hard
trick
and
is
inconsistent.
It's just so random.
It looked intense. And also, I have a question for all of you.
Yes.
We just got on a donation. It made me think. We got on a $5 donation from LLK. And I want to know, did any of you have a Sonic OC that you made? In chat, I'd love to hear about
We don't talk
yours.
about that. I'm not talking about that. That's forbidden lore. I tell you what, I will share the deep lore about my Sonic OC for another $250. Once we get another $250 on the number, I will share my deep lore. But otherwise, that's forbidden.
Chat, I need this. Okay, I need somebody right now to dive in because we need the PT lore. Okay, just 250.
I mean, 40K, man.
I'll tell you. Okay, so there we go. Shovel K or Shovel. Wow, Shovel K. That's the Animal Crossing name. Shovel Claws putting up the 40K incentive right there, and PT putting up a $250 incentive. I need Sonic OC lore. Let's make it happen.
Oh my God. I guess I
Don't
can
call me cheap.
And
Yeah, I saw that. That's evil.
And also, just because I did say it earlier, $5 from LLK saying, I'm vain because my favorite Sonic character is the OC I made up when Sonic 2 was released. Did any of you in the call or chat have a Sonic OC? And it seems like the answer is definitely yes.
I'm not saying a word until I see the money. And I'm also, yes, it's a Vanessa story. Yes, it's going to be really, really ridiculous, but we'll get there. But I need to see the dollars first. I'm not relinquishing that information.
Into this Sunset Heights challenge. The Act 2 Sunset Heights challenges aren't the worst. There are a few cool skips in there, but the Act 1 challenges can be extremely challenging because you don't get a lot to work with. This first one, a little bit nicer. Nadia, super clean. Tore through it. This next one, probably one of the hardest challenges in the entire game. This is the Sunset Heights One Ring
Yes, it
challenge, and we'll
is.
see how Nadia can fare against it. Hopefully it'll be fine. But you only get one ring, and this stage is modified to add a ton of these spike balls that are on moving cycles. And as a speedrunner who hates moving cycles, this challenge is the bane of me. Very clean first half. We'll see.
I will have to be a little more careful with my boost here. I should have enough to at least cross this gap.
Huge.
That is fine, actually. I would like my ring back.
Oh my god! And
No, we got the one ring. Doesn't matter. We're Gucci. We're Gucci.
and
Yeah, as long as we have that ring, it's fine.
also, we are just
We're chilling. We got out.
$590 away from 40K. We are so close, chat. So, PT, what was that about? What was that about? Having to tell us your character, and also,
Hey, Shovel Claws, how much stuff do we need to describe?
I feel like you at least need the species and like a little bit of their backstory. Come on.
All right, Thor, do your part, and then we're gonna have story time with PT on comms. I hate it here.
so actually, I have a $50 donation from Not So Headless, who's asking me personally, "Hey, sweetie, can I finish this spinach dip?" Absolutely, yes, sweetie, yes, you can. And then we have, that's what I get for not checking my Discord, am I right? And also, we have $250 from Cookie Mom coming on in with the amazing donation, bringing us to $39,460. We are so close, chat. We are just $540 away. And lastly, $50 on Pitman Lionhouse. We're really enjoying this last day of the marathon and already looking forward to the next. Great job, everyone. Lots of love. 40K hype.
I do want to point
All right.
out, before story time, we do have another challenge that's extremely cool. I want to let that one speak for itself, and then Act 2 challenges, kind of fine. They're 2D movement, so
There's definitely a reason I still have Shadow on right now. Especially for this one.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So, going to get a ring collector challenge here. We need 100 rings to get through this stage, and of course we want to get through the stage fast too, so going to do a big rail jump off of the side here in order to skip this big skydiving section that actually has a ton of rings in it, so skipping quite a lot of these rings. Doom Blast this guy to get onto the top rail, where we're going to fly through this rail, and Nadia is going to do something that only very confident people do, which is jump off of that rail mid-rail and then into a chaos control rail to finish up the stage. Super difficult, made it look super clean just in 30 seconds.
Now,
And now I want to hear about that Sonic OC.
right, PT? Come on. And also, we can get Shovel
All right.
Claws if you get us
boy.
$490. Jack, come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
So in the case of me, I did not have one because I had several, and many people who have spoke to me know that I actually have an original background as a video game character concept artist. My dream was to grow up and draw video game characters for either Sega, Capcom, or Square Enix, which is ironic because I no longer want to do that, but I am working in the video game sector as a community manager because that's where my passion lies, that and philanthropy. This is why I'm the one that leads this event, because it molds two of my favorite things together, and I love that for me. So many moons ago when I was young and I had this weird thing called free time, I used to draw constantly all the time. And there's this artist that I follow. Some people in chat, if you have comic books or you play Sword Art Online, might know them. Their name is Rose Besh. And I followed them back in our golden days of learning how to draw because Rose Besh and I are actually very close in age. And so it was because I was so into Sonic the Hedgehog that I had a Hedgehog OC with like an updo, and it was a hedgehog itself. I had a cat OC with like long hair, and it was one of those like almost deity style aesthetics, but I didn't know what I was going for then. I was like 12. I had a panda that always wore like Chinese style traditional dresses because I loved looking up like costume design and getting all the details. And then I always had a fourth one that just kind of metamorphosized on whatever mood I was in. It never really held to a different or a specific animal. It just was whatever I felt like. And they were their little friend group, and they would hang out and they would do stuff, and I would draw them in like fun little scenarios of like drinking tea and other stuff. So if you ever see me online playing a video game character by the name of Ariadne, or Leonis, those are actually throwbacks to my Sonic OCs that I had almost 20 years ago, and they have just lived on in my memory as character names that I have for RPGs now.
Oh,
I feel like I'm scamming by charging 40K because I just like was a little closeted gay boy who wanted to kiss.
All I
I didn't have this allure. I just wanted someone to be like close to Sonic with.
all I had in terms of Sonic OCs off the top of my head, I had one OC named Crash the Wolf. At the same time I like made him. You can probably assume that I was into the Crash Bandicoot games. So he basically just looked like Crash as a Sonic character. It was
That's actually so real. I cannot believe that.
and
it was raw.
I'll sweeten the pot some. If we hit 40K, there's more lore to that because that part's actually mildly embarrassing, but it's much shorter.
And speaking of which, we just got in a wonderful $250 donation from the Corvame saying, Shadow is so cool. You are so right. You've never been more right about anything than that right now. I love it. Thank you.
Speaking of cool things, we got Metal Overlord here. Coming straight from Sonic Heroes, of course. And what Nadia is going to try to do is maximize the damage using this floating debris, but we actually want to avoid going into these long animated sequences where Shadow gets launched up off of a ramp into Metal Overlord and deals a bunch of damage, because that's a little bit slower than just hitting him with this debris. If we get a good health, or if we get enough damage on
That's
him,
enough.
which it looks like we're very close
We're
to.
good.
Let's see.
And
Yeah, we should be good. That allows us to actually phase skip into the next phase without having this very long sequence where we actually just straight up can't damage Metal Overlord. And then the second phase is just him throwing obstacles at us and we have to like hit him again, but it's fine. At the very end, Nadia is going to do a little RTA optimization to avoid using Chaos Control and a very long animation that comes with it by risking a little bit more to hit a bunch of falling debris without using Chaos Control. It's a lot easier if you use Chaos Control, but it loses like 5 seconds.
And speaking of really awesome stuff, by the way, we are just $490 away. Y'all just helped us get $500 in 10 minutes. I think we can get $500 in another 10 minutes. And on top of that, chat, we've talked about your favorite characters. We've talked about your favorite music. Now tell me what your favorite bosses are. And I want to hear what's been your most difficult as well. If you want to put up a $10 dono train, submit your favorites through donos and tell us why.
We
Now I have to
definitely
really
have
think
a lot
about
of
that.
good choices from this game, I'll say. All three of the bosses are kind of fire.
I was gonna say, like, that one's actually a super deep cut because that's a lot of Sonic bosses to dig through. But to have a favorite, like a boss that I look forward to, like my brain immediately goes to bosses I can't stand. Like any boss in a level that is carnival themed or has the spring in the name, I can't I hate those levels. Spring Yard Zone, garbage. Carnival Night Zone, garbage. The one that's in Sonic Mania, that's pretty much Studiopolis, garbage. I can't stand
Whoa.
those levels.
Okay.
Studiopolis? Hold on.
What do you mean?
No.
Studiopolis is amazing.
No, Studiopolis is
So
garbage.
What?
Trash.
No, you need to stop. Just stop. I don't.
Now I got multiple people telling me be nice. This is ugly.
Well, you know what? One person says you're wrong, they're wrong. Another person says you're wrong, you might be wrong.
Whoa.
Hey, that's a philosophy that a lot of people need to subscribe to. That's all I'm gonna leave that at. Like, it can't be everyone is wrong and you're the only one that's right. Let's be very real right now.
Look, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. We all got our preferences. Some of them are wrong. That's chill. Some of us don't
It's
like
okay, 'cause
Studiopolis.
It's okay
fine.
because chat's beating me up too. Apparently, I'd have made chat upset.
As they should.
If I say I like Studiopolis, will the donations resume? Is that
If
what we're
you're
doing?
Manic PT, you can like say how good Studiopolis is in a dono. Like, that's fine.
Well, you know what? Speaking of donos, by the way, I have to read this one out. We got a $5 donation in from Sean Sorry saying, my OC is Shonic the Hedgehog. That
Oh my
is
god.
beautiful. Okay. You know what? I am here for it.
You know what? I don't believe you.
I want pics.
We need like or we need a Blue Sky post or something. I need to see this because it sounds amazing. And then we got $50 from the Lemon Fairy. I have to donate for all this OC sharing. This weekend has been so amazing. I want to thank everyone involved for your passion, your games, and your spirit. And speaking of amazing spirit, we are just $435 away, which I know we can make it. I know we're going to see some more Sonic action tonight. Well, rather, some Shadow action tonight. So make sure you take a look. And also, we're going to have those fantastic bonus movie DLC levels in a bit. So don't go anywhere after this one. I promise we got a lot coming up for you. But make sure to do gdq.gg/donate. If you're watching from front page or you're on your TV, you can go there, gdq.gg/donate. And thank you so much for all the wonderful donations.
Absolutely. We're really close to 40K, but don't get too cocky yet. We have just a little over 20 minutes in this run, so not a lot of time left. You also might notice that we're back in Arc. This is because this actually is a little bit faster routing-wise. It just cuts down on some hub movement. And also, these two challenges are pretty easy. There's some tech. You saw Nadia in the first act run on a wall over a automated skydiving section, but otherwise it's a pretty straightforward set of stages, and we don't need this boss key until this act, where we're going to actually enter into our final zone, asterisk, Chaos Island. Yes. I don't know when Shadow ever went to Chaos Island.
I don't know either, but it's okay because I enjoy this level a lot. Maybe
Terios has been there and we just didn't see it.
You're right, actually.
Terios went there for vacation. For vacation.
Right, okay, that makes sense. But we actually also got a new Doom power that Shadow can use in this stage quite a lot, called the Doom Morph. The Doom Morph allows Shadow to transform into this adorable little puppy guy that is cute, apparently, according to Nadia.
Yes, he is!
In practice comps, I'm not gonna lie.
He's just a little guy.
He is a little guy. That is true.
He just swims around and goes fast. What more could I ask for?
That is, like, exactly what you want from a Sonic character, I guess.
Exactly.
But Doom Morph allows us to boost through this purple sludge on the ground. We can only transform into it whenever we have one of those purple orbs, but there's also a lot of movement with those purple orbs that allow us to, say, bungee jump off of one into another section, or launch yourself through one to come out the other end and be a little bit faster. It's quite a dynamic Doom power compared to something like Doom Blast, where it's just, oh, now you can get on another angle of the map. Woo. I like Doom Morph a lot, and also like Chaos Island a lot. This stage is both awesome, flashy, and also has fantastic music. I know that might be a hot take, but this track alone might be one of my favorites in the entire game.
And you know what else we like a lot, by the way? Race Forward, who's working to ask and answer the questions that get us at the root cause in service of building root public safety solutions for issues for Black and Indigenous peoples. And that's who we're raising money for tonight. Every single dollar of your donations helps and goes towards those fantastic that fantastic organization. And we really appreciate you all taking the time to be here tonight for that cause.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fantastic cause. I've been so excited for this event for quite a while, knowing that we're actually having a Black in a Flash event benefiting a charity is super cool. So I think y'all have done great this weekend to raise nearly 40K. I'm sure we got to get there, right?
We're like $430 away, chat. Like legit, we are so close to the end of this run, but we are so close towards making that, and I know we can. So chat, make it happen. I believe. Gotta go fast.
I believe
many
as
are
well.
saying.
Yeah. I was gonna say too, like, it's been a really big blast, like putting all this together and getting everything set up so that we could have all these Black speedrunners be featured. And I saw someone ask in chat, yes, Race Forward benefits Black and Indigenous people, Black and brown people. So they're covering all bases with that. So we wanted to go with someone that we knew had our missions at the forefront, but also is spreading it beyond that of just, hey, we want to focus on just one thing at a time. It's another big reason why all of their initiatives that you're donating to help contribute and like fund are really, really, really important, because they're looking at it from a multiple levels and really focusing on intersectionality around their work. They've been an awesome organization to work with as well. So shout outs to Race Forward for like being a dope partner. Can we get some love for Race Forward just in general?
Let's go.
I mean, if you love Race Forward, you're gonna put money in the donation pot, right? Come on.
And also, if you do want to find out more about Race Forward, you can do a command !RF in chat, and it'll tell you a lot more about the organization.
Yeah. Going into Chaos Island Act 2 here. This is a pretty standard 2D stage, but we have this really cool section in the middle here where Nadia is going to use the Doom Morph and these gondolas to skip quite a lot of the stage. Scary damage there, but manages to very cleanly back it up. This section kind of acts like a maze where you're trying to get through it with Doom Morph, which of course allows us a lot of options in the speedrun that are all super flashy, has a ton of movement. Also, it's been a while since Black Doom showed up. I feel like there should be Radical Highway soon, but I mean, you know what? We're on Chaos Island. Maybe like they shot him down up in the sky somewhere before we got here, so he couldn't take us to Radical Highway or something. I don't know.
I really miss Black Doom right now. I
miss him.
I miss him more. I miss his little gifts he gave us.
I do know you.
I am upset at the things I just heard.
What? That was a banger. Come on.
That was a banger.
I am incensed even. I can't even believe this.
And also, we just got a really sweet donation and $10 from Oksani saying, I'm not going to weigh in on the Sonic takes because let's be real, I have none. But can I just say there's something so great about listening to the couch, having a friendly argument over each other's takes? I don't know who's wrong. I don't know who's right. This is amazing. Please give me more. And then we have straight from Barbecue at Leona saying, do y'all have a favorite Sonic story game? I think Sonic peaked with the Archie comics. Barbecue, well, you're about to hear a lot more arguments and takes. So let's get into it. What is your favorite Sonic story game? And YouTube chat in the donuts.
You just played my trap card because Archie Sonic comics are special and close to my heart. No matter how much you want to tell me that they're bad. You can tell me that they're bad, and I'll agree with you, but I still have them, and there's nothing you can do about that. Not anything. That's real,
actually, I respect it.
You can't. Sorry. Oh my God. No. Anytime I get a chance to talk about the Archie comics, I'm just like, oh my God. I would love to tell you about one of my favorite obsessions that is so trash, and it's so good because it's trash. But let me be quiet for a second. Let's focus on this run and some fundraising.
And also, while PT is doing that, we are just $290 away, chat. We are so close. I can feel it. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, also favorite Sonic story. Sonic Battle on the GBA, no questions. Makes me cry every time.
That's real.
Oh,
quick.
Now you got me. You got me thinking about going home to read just comic number 50 over again because it's so nonsense. It's so nonsense, but the art is so peak for that entire series buildup.
I love Sonic fans. Anyways, the Act 1 challenges, they're both very cool. Lots of very cool movement. That second one in particular, going to do a little launch off of some geometry in the level in order to fling ourselves up to the end goal. It's super sick. And then some Act 2 challenges where you gotta destroy a set number of cyclones and their time limit. Are you excited, Jet?
I don't know. I'm personally like pretty excited. I think you need to give some love.
I'm excited about everything except this challenge right now. Nadia, you're crushing it. PT, I love spending time with you. Thor, you're an amazing host. Like, everything else is exciting. These cyclones? I don't know about that.
I think you need to give them love. Anyways, real quick, Shadow's about to become Spider-Man in this challenge. Just start climbing walls. No big deal.
And speaking, by the way, of characters doing cool things, we've got a favorite from a wonderful, wonderful dono. $5 from Topsy Cret Fox. I see what you did with your name there. My daughter wanted to get in on the train this time. She, Zoe, said, my favorite is Amy. You know what? Amy is an awesome character. Love the hammer.
Pick.
Knocking it out of the park.
Amy is a very
I-
good biscuit.
I see what you did there, Thor. I respect it. All right.
All right.
We are going into our next boss fight. Probably one of the rawest ones in the entire game.
Very true. Also one of the hardest, in my opinion. So I definitely have to.
I see Shadow has joined us. Goodbye, Nadia.
Yes. it's time to lock in. We gotta.
Oh,
Yeah, this one actually has a surprising amount of tech to it. So Mephley is here out in the middle of the bottom of the well from Zelda, I guess. Is going to be another one of those fights where we can skip quite a lot of it if we deal enough damage in the right ways. So going to use Doom Morph in order to attack certain ones or certain phases in a specific order. You'll see that as we load in. Additionally, during some of the weak points, you can sorry, you jumping up to him and like trying to just beat him up before
You broke the
fight even
couch.
started. Sorry, I logged out. So we're going to use Doom Morph to get him vulnerable, and then once he's vulnerable, I'm going to let Nadia count here.
Pop. And there we go. We're set.
Nice. So what Nadia did there was actually Chaos Spear right in the middle of that attack, which allows you to get another cycle out, which actually deals enough damage to where when we do this next phase, Nadia is going to make Mephley's vulnerable again, and then just instantly launch him into one of these orbs in the background, which deal the most damage out of anything that you can do in one hit. And that skips having to go through that attack again. It skips all of the phases in the future that you might have to do if you only did that one phase. So very clean. Going to send us right into the next phase of this fight where Mephley is going to jump us, I guess, and try to take us down, but we're Shadow the Hedgehog, question mark? Like, what?
I
You thought
don't-
you could win.
He really did think he could win. I don't know his reasoning behind it. Anyways, now he gets to be a big old monster, which doesn't damage me for some reason. That's okay, though, because we'll damage him right back.
And also, speaking of things that we're getting closer to, including the end of this fantastic fight, we're coming up on the end of this run soon, but also we are around $245 away from raising $40,000 for Race Forward. And on top of that,
I believe
we have a $25 dono from the Lord of Stuff. I should be in bed, but this one is so cool. I'm also going to say my favorite Sonic song is either Live and Learn or City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2. So you should all
Nice
make sure
picks.
that you get those donos in so you can hear some awesome music from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
is true. And those are classic choices there too. Like everyone knows Live and Learn, and then just it's one of those songs that it's burned into your brain. You may not think it is, but I can guarantee you if you hear the first 2 seconds of it, you'll know exactly what song is playing. And you know the lyrics too.
It's just that good, and you know what else is really good? What's about to happen next? So remember the Doomwing? We haven't
I
seen
miss
that in
Black
a
Doom.
minute. Oh yeah, I miss him too. I miss his little gift he gave us.
I wonder where he is, man. I just, it's been so long. It's been since Sunset Heights. That was, how long ago now? I can't even remember.
Also,
Like,
Feels like that was 84 years
I,
ago.
I have an
I know.
amazing character that somebody just bought up that I haven't thought of in a while. A $25 anonymous donation. It's been such a fun weekend. Learning about Race Forward has been amazing. I'm so glad I get to support them with this donation. Much love to all the runners, hosts, commentators, tech, and more behind the scenes. Thank you for making such a great event. P.S. Since I have only played Sonic Riders, I have to say my favorite character is Jets. And thank you
Hell yeah.
to the staff. And let's give it up, chat. I mean, everyone's been amazing. And we are just under $170 from $40,000. We're so close.
wow.
We're so close.
so we're actually entering the last act of this game. You know what? It's been a while since we saw a good stage. You know, Chaos Island, kind of lame. Sunset Heights, kind of lame. Let's go Radical Highway.
I love
always
Radical
comes back to
Highway.
Radical
They did it
Highway.
again. They did it again. Sonic Team does it again. Simply magic. Nadia here going to start the stage with a very risky but super impressive jump off to the right. Kind of breaks the stage's gravity here. Radical Highway, of course, all split into all sorts of nonsense now because of Black Doom's nonsense.
Nonsense. Yeah.
Nonsense. We both got to the same place. So this allows us to actually break this stage in a lot of unique ways, and you'll see probably the biggest skip coming up in this stage right at the end of this run with the Doom Wings and a little bit of that broken stage. So Nadia is going to keep these Doom Wings that the game kind of gives you for free. You usually have to activate these using 50 rings into this next spot, which this loop has a little bit of broken automation, going to send us flying up, and Nadia's going to line up for a very difficult trick. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Well, let this one speak for itself.
And also, while Nadia is doing that, make sure
I got
you
it.
get your donations in at gdq.gg/donate.
That is the Radical Highway
my
Act
gosh.
1 fling.
Yup.
It is incredibly precise. Nadia hit it first try. Let's go,
Nice.
dude. You're the go.
I am so happy I got that. There is a reason I kept Shadow on this stage in particular. Like Radical Highway, I'd say is just a whole gauntlet. So I'm very glad I got the fling first try.
I was gonna make a comment
First
about that
try.
once the level was done. I was like, "Do you still mean to be on Shadow?"
No,
or is
yes.
that accident? But that was intentional.
There is
That
no break times
skip.
for in game, not anymore.
These two stages are probably the two hardest stages in the entire game. They're at the very end of the run. It is very, very impressive that Nadia is able to hit that first try just like that. It is super difficult. That fling activates because of some more broken automation, and it sends us absolutely flying and allows Nadia to just crush that stage. 1:30 for what's usually a 3-minute long stage, please. And then
3 minutes in a Sonic game is asinine.
I mean, I like it, but you know, color me unique, I guess. And then this Act 2 here is the only Act 2 in the entire game that's in 3D. Thank you, Black Doom, for giving us more peek.
It's such a great gift. I love it so much.
It is so good. You know what? I thought he was the bad guy, but here we are in Radical Highway Act 2, and it's in 3D, and it's like, oh, birthday gift, yay! So,
What
going
a-
to
What a
take
great
lot
dad
of
he
shortcuts. Yeah, I mean, really, like, this is Sonic Team's special little treat for us at the very end of a fantastic game.
And speaking of a nice little treat, we are officially at $40,000, Jack. Not only have you unlocked our bonus game, but you made it happen. Give yourself a pat on the
my
back.
God.
Let's go.
Right
I
at the
cannot
end.
I cannot express how excited I am to do comms for Sonic Adventure 2 for Meltra,
Hell
because this is
yeah.
going to be my third time on their couch. I am so... Oh my god.
Thank you all so much.
Let it out. Let it out. I want to hear that excitement, PT. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Congratulations.
Well, I just reminded myself I have to do... thank you so much, first and foremost. So, cringe moment. The remaining lore. So, those same characters that I talked about. Once upon a time, I got really creative and had a ton of free time, and I decided I was going to make a Sonic comic.
Oh,
This is still when I'm before the
hell
age of
yes.
15, mind you. Ambitious little scamp I was. So, this wasn't just like a single page comic or something. This was a comic that you could flip through. I think I hand drew about 15 pages front to back with my OCs and Sonic characters, and I made up a story. And my brain, I should have known many, many years ago, was outrageously neurospicy, because what started out as a happy story quickly became a sad story, insofar that at the end, one of the Sonic characters was dead. And after I had done that, I cried, and my dad, I will never forget, found me in the basement just sobbing, and I told him what happened, and my dad looked at me and was like, so let me get this straight. You wrote the story, you killed the character, and now you're crying over your decisions? I was a very unique individual. I'm still a very unique individual, but that memory just burns in my brain, because when he said that, I remember my brain just being like, oh, you got a point.
so
Yeah, I made myself cry with my own Sonic comic where I killed my own OCs because I'm a jerk.
Oh my god.
That's your
Okay.
40K treat from me.
PC, I have another proposition for you since we hit 40K.
Okay.
Can we get a post on the GDQ Blue Sky of this comic?
oh my gosh.
Oh god, I have to find it. I don't even know if I have it anymore. Like, there's so
Find
much.
it? I think that'd be kind of
Oh
awesome.
my It was, I mean, it was completely drawn on like notebook paper.
Dude,
it was all
that's the
crinkly. It had like the scraggly ends. It was straight peak. I'm in grade school going to high school art aesthetic. It was kind of gross. Nah,
that's awesome.
That's something real I did.
And also, just want to read out one more donation from Barbecue Leona saying, Nadia forced OC stories out of us and a whole other shadow run in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Congrats again on the speed run, friend. And a $25 dono from Starfruit Dust saying, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle has a special place in my heart. It was a game my childhood best friend and my little brother could bond over. Never seen a speed run of any category for this game, and I would love to see someone as skilled as Melcher show just how it's done. Fortunately, unable to watch live, but trust me, I'm going to be showing them both the VOD as soon as possible. And Starfruit Dust and also Barbecue Leona, thank you so much for your wonderful donations. Thank you for being here and supporting this wonderful cause. And chat, we're not done yet. If you do want to continue to support this cause, we do have a bid war that is still currently active to raise money for the language choice for Octopath Traveler. So make sure you get that in. Make sure you add that to your incentive or to your donation at the end of the list with the little incentive button, and make sure you put it towards that so it counts towards that.
All right.
So
we are in the final boss.
Yes,
We've
we
been
are.
in it for a minute.
Yes,
But-
we went through the first phase. Black Doom gave us his little Cocoa Puffs. Phase 2, we got to see our little squid buddy one more time. And now here we are, final phase, Neo Devil Doom. We get to be basically Super Shadow of sorts with our Doom Wings back. Time will be coming up a little bit. We still got some time left. Enjoying some the All Hail Shadow remix with Crush 40.
Now,
This remake is so good.
now speaking
It is
of
very good.
hailing the Shadowrun, what is your thoughts on chows? Because let me just tell you, everyone, we just opened a Save the Chow Pets incentive, and we've got some fun for you. So if you want to get in towards that, we've got 65 animals in total across 5 per stage. And we'll save 1 animal per $10 raised. So yeah, make sure to take a look at that. We've got that incentive up and running, and I am very, very excited. But yeah, get in.
Okay.
I want to see some chows saved. What the hell?
I would say, yeah, I as someone who's on that run, can I talk about that incentive?
Very
a
quick.
little?
Go for it,
time
please.
is coming up.
Expand. Oh,
Very, very
Wait,
quick.
is time
Yes,
coming?
time is about
Yes,
to come
time
up.
is coming up.
The second
I'll wait
this
for you to
quick
get
time
your
event,
time.
the second this quick time event finishes, or whenever Shadow blinks, that will be time. And
Very soon.
here we go. Very, very soon.
It's kinda
And time.
Nice.
Okay.
Very good work, Nadia. What a banger of a run.
And there we go.
I love seeing that Shadow gets to actually just do what all the hedgehogs have wanted to do and just take enemies and kick them in the face.
Yes. It's so sick when he does it because it's Shadow. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. I'm saying.
1439.
That's a really good RTA.
Yeah, it is.
That's like, how far off?
That
is
was like
is
that's
your-
like a minute
your
from
PB?
my. I think that's a minute or so from off of my PB. I could check
What a
right now.
nuts run.
No, I will
only a-
actually check. I'm curious.
and not only a nuts run, but we're not